Man, how many of you guys wanted to see Johnny Gargano shake Tommaso Ciampa's hand at the end of the show tonight? I wanted to, man. I was waiting for it. And then all of a sudden, Johnny's wife, Candice LeRae, comes out and cock-blocks the entire situation, stating, "This isn't the Johnny I know. You really want this? You really gonna trust this clown? You don't want this." I'm like, "Candice, please, go to the back. Leave Johnny alone. He's been doing good." Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano took out Ricochet and Aleister Black at the end of the show tonight. Their individual opponents at TakeOver on Saturday night. DIY again teasing a possible reformation or a rekindling of friendship between the two, which is not really going to be a permanent thing, because if you watch Johnny tonight, he was still very wary about Tommaso Ciampa, but he was also setting his eyes on the NXT Championship, man. He didn't want to take his eyes off the NXT Championship, being that Johnny is all about wins and championships this year. But that's the angle that they needed to go home with. That's the angle we were looking for the last couple weeks, man. And they ended the taping tonight on a very hot note before we get into the NXT TakeOver Phoenix show on Saturday night, man. I can't wait for it. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on the NXT podcast on Wednesday night, the only wrestling-themed show you should be watching on Wednesday nights, man. We're going to go over everything that happened on the show tonight. Not much happened, but enough to talk about it in this podcast. But also today, Triple H took to the airwaves and had the NXT TakeOver Phoenix conference call, which I do have some news and notes from that conference call, and we're going to go over that today as well. Plus, two huge names are now on their way from Impact Wrestling to WWE. Who are they? We're going to talk about it in just a little bit, man. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206 on Twitter and Instagram. I've been posting a little bit more on Instagram lately. I've been getting my brand up there on Instagram, so if you guys want to follow me on there, please do so. You guys know the deal with Twitter. I'll be live all weekend for TakeOver and for the Royal Rumble on Saturday and Sunday. If you guys want my thoughts in real time, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Follow me on Twitch as well. I might be on Twitch after this review goes live. JD from New York on Twitch. Hit that subscribe button, and then over to the right of the subscribe button is a bell. Hit that bell. You're going to be notified of all my uploads. Go into the settings and make sure you guys turn on I want all of JD's uploads. So make sure you guys do that as well. We are 105,100 plus already, man. Thank you guys so much for the support. And if you guys want to follow me on Patreon, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Man, let's get into it. I don't want to waste any more of your time, man. We got the news and notes right before NXT hit the airwaves tonight. Major Impact Wrestling star on his way to the WWE, and he's not coming alone. WWE is always looking for talent on and off the screen. In this instance, I do believe this signing is going to be off screen. The professional wrestling business extends far beyond what we see on camera. Impact Wrestling recently lost two huge assets to their backstage operation to the WWE in Abyss and Sanjay Dutt. PW Insider is reporting literally minutes ago that the strong belief from multiple sources say that Abyss and Sanjay Dutt have already left Impact Wrestling and are both expected in the WWE very shortly. It was said Impact Wrestling informed their roster of their departures in an email that wished each of them well in their future endeavors. Abyss and Sanjay Dutt offer way more than just veteran performers in the ring. They were working backstage for Impact Wrestling, and although it wasn't explicitly said in Mike Johnson's report, it is expected that they will be starting with the WWE shortly in a backstage capacity. Abyss was a backstage producer for Impact Wrestling and a long history with the company as an in-ring performer, as you guys are very well aware. Sanjay Dutt was working on the creative side of things, and it is said that Tommy Dreamer and Konnan were brought in to fill Sanjay Dutt's position in Impact Wrestling. This is a huge deal. This is a huge deal, and to those who are fans of Impact Wrestling, I'm pretty sure you are saying that this is a big deal as well. Sanjay Dutt and Abyss have made their mark on Impact Wrestling creatively. Obviously, Abyss with his on-air role with the character, but behind the scenes, they, I'm sure, are two notable names that have had a huge influence over the resurgence of Impact Wrestling, and now they're leaving for WWE. I don't think that Abyss is going to have an on-air role. I think maybe for the Royal Rumble. I could definitely see Abyss being a surprise appearance in the Royal Rumble. Actually, I wouldn't even mind that. I think that would be great. You know? It's always been a dream of him, I'm sure, to be in the WWE or wanting to be in the WWE. In fact, it was many, many years ago that Abyss pretty much had a WWE contract handed to him. They were about to sign. He was about to sign the dotted line. They were going to bring him in for a Royal Rumble many, many years ago and put him against The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Apparently, the myth is that he got cold feet. He got cold feet. That's what he was explaining to everybody, that he got nervous, he got cold feet. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do the Rumble. He didn't want to do the big match with The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And then it was cited that he always wanted to be loyal to Impact Wrestling. That was the myth, that he got cold feet. Then he came out and said, I didn't want to leave Impact Wrestling. I'm very loyal and dedicated to what they're doing. I want to be here to find that they are successful. So that was the whole issue with that. He was on his way to WWE many years ago. Never happened. And now in 2019, he's going to be on his way to the WWE in a creative aspect. I do not sit here and willingly tell you guys, oh, I want Abyss on WWE television. It's not going to happen. The guy's, how old is he? 45, 46 years old? He's in his mid-40s. He's climbing towards 50. What does Abyss bring to WWE that they don't already have? I don't see him on the main roster. I don't see him doing anything on Raw or SmackDown. Just a dead people's thought. This is not a main roster signing. Abyss is not coming into the WWE to fill a void on Raw or SmackDown. He might be in the Royal Rumble. In fact, I hope he's in the Royal Rumble. I hope that he has a few eliminations for himself. Just gets that out of his system at the Royal Rumble. In the WWE, making his debut, and then he can go on and do whatever he's got to do. Sanjay Dutt and Abyss are going to be on Triple H's side of the fence. They're going to be joining Triple H's team. Triple H already has Jeremy Borash. I could easily see Abyss and Sanjay Dutt filling voids on Triple H's team. Triple H is getting himself ready. You know, everybody wants to cite, oh, WWE's taking over. You know, they got influence in the UK. They're going to have new PCs opening up in China and Japan and Australia, India, right? The global takeover for WWE is in full effect. Now you know why they named their biggest shows for NXT TakeOver. It's not by coincidence. But Triple H, you know, WWE may be taking over other markets across the globe when it comes to professional wrestling, but Triple H is preparing his takeover with signings like this. He's preparing his takeover with Abyss, Sanjay Dutt, Jeremy Borash, and Shawn Michaels and William Regal, Matt Bloom, all these guys, you know? It's Triple H's takeover. When he takes over, this is the team that he's assembling that is going to be working directly behind him. I love this move. I think this is a fantastic fucking move. Now, a lot of people didn't think that this was going to happen. There were people in the community who went to the Hall of Fame induction when Abyss was inducted into the Hall of Fame during Bound for Glory weekend. They were there. People said that Abyss never looked happier. People thought Abyss was going to be a lifer for WWE, for Impact Wrestling. That he would never see the light of day in WWE. And here we are. Royal Rumble weekend. It's very odd that Abyss was supposed to come into the Royal Rumble many years ago and do a program with The Undertaker, and now here we are in 2019, and Abyss could very well be in the Royal Rumble in 2019 in Phoenix. I think this is a fantastic move. Because whatever you think of Impact Wrestling, yes, they are in a resurgence. They have very good television nowadays. People are raving about it. I don't watch it. I couldn't give a single fuck about Impact Wrestling. I really don't. It's just too much to cover in a single week. But from what I hear of people, and I know of their talent, because many of their talent actually come on into House of Glory as well, so I'm very familiar with the talent. I just don't watch the TV shows. I think this is a huge move. It's a huge move for WWE. So good on Abyss and good on Sanjay Dutt, man. They're coming on into WWE. Like I mentioned again, Abyss could possibly make an appearance in the Royal Rumble, and I see them reporting on assignment down at Full Sail for Triple H down at NXT. Good move by WWE. Speaking of Triple H, man, a lot of people are claiming that I am on the AEW payroll, that I am on the Cody Rhodes Young Bucks team, that I'm receiving a paycheck every week from Tony Khan and the Khan family. But I can't help but talk about All Elite Wrestling. And the AEW effect is in full effect right now in and around WWE. If you don't think that they're monitoring what AEW is doing, you're an ignorant clown. And I'm not the only one who thinks that way either. Triple H confirms today during the NXT TakeOver Phoenix conference call that he and WWE management are watching All Elite Wrestling. What's that? What's that, haters? Huh? I'm wrong? Yeah, you know what, man? You can go fuck yourself. I was right every step of the way. Triple H confirms that WWE is watching All Elite Wrestling. Well, no shit. No shit. All Elite Wrestling has all the possibility in the world to become a huge player in the world of pro wrestling. They are backed by a family with more money than the McMahons, and they could bring in a lot of top dollar contracts. However, they are still in the infant stages without having one official show yet. They don't have a TV deal yet. It's all hype right now, I understand, yes. But it's not illegal or wrong to get excited about the possibility of what could be. I don't think that a family worth $7.4 billion is going to allow this to fail. So much so that Triple H is watching All Elite Wrestling. And if he's watching it, he knows that it's serious business. Triple H was asked about AEW during the NXT TakeOver Phoenix conference call, where he confirmed that WWE is monitoring All Elite Wrestling. As things develop, it seems that WWE is considering AEW competition. This is what Triple H had to say, and I quote, "Something we will keep an eye on. We'll do what's right for us. Our fan base will continue to monitor everything. When you're a content provider, we compete against everything. We'll continue to do what's best for business for WWE." Now, All Elite Wrestling has contracts in the works for TV deals. Therefore, they will likely have a TV show eventually. I'm predicting by the time SmackDown moves to Fox, that's when we'll see All Elite Wrestling on a major TV network. And it's been already reported that Jericho signed with All Elite Wrestling because he knows what they have in the works, and he says that he wouldn't have signed if a major TV deal wasn't in place. So who knows what they have up their sleeve and when they're ready to announce it. That's why I'm going to be in Vegas for Double or Nothing. Now, you never know what Triple H means by "we'll do what's right for us," but it looks like AEW is an enemy of WWE, even if Cody Rhodes says that they just want to be an alternative. So it is confirmed. Everything that I've stated is absolutely 100% fact. The fact that AEW does not strike any fear in WWE, or they're not making WWE worried, that is put to bed now. Triple H has already confirmed today that they are monitoring everything that All Elite Wrestling is doing, from contracts, who they bring aboard, everybody from management, producers, people in TV roles, the TV deals that they are rumored to be getting. Everything is being monitored by WWE. So we can put that to rest. We can put that to bed right now. And I might have more news on AEW tomorrow on our Off the Script Extra. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. WWE seems to be open to bringing NXT to FS1, Fox Sports 1. I am open to this decision if WWE wants to venture and put NXT on FS1. WWE is $1 billion deal with Fox, coming and going live with SmackDown Live in October. This means a Friday move is coming in October, which we all know, and the Blue Brand will be appearing on the Fox network. This is a big move for WWE and will open them up to a much wider audience. However, there is always room to grow. FS1 is owned by Fox, and they need programming as well. Now, before I continue on with the report, FS1 is a sister network to Fox. It's a Fox channel, but they're a little bit more sports-driven. You know, you see all the... I don't want to say Fox is not sports-driven. Fox has got the NFL. Fox has got MLB. Fox has got NASCAR and whatever else they want to fucking put on their main station. FS1 usually has all the combat fighting and all the real sports and that type of thing, right? That very competitive feel, that underground indie competitive feel. Something that you might not see on a major network will usually be on FS1. So NXT going to FS1, I think, is a great option if WWE wanted to venture down that road. You know, NXT right now is a WWE Network exclusive. Many people are simply subscribed to the WWE Network for NXT. But if NXT is on FS1, I can't see FS1 getting TakeOver either. I think TakeOver will still be on the WWE Network. So your $9.99 is still going to go towards so much more value with the WWE Network. You got the TakeOvers, you got the pay-per-views, which are... TakeOvers you can only watch on WWE Network. The pay-per-views, if you want to buy them through a cable provider, $64.99. It's a steal. It's a steal. The WWE Network pays for itself in 1 month, literally. Plus, if you're only subscribed to the network for NXT, you're a fool. The network provides you so much more than just NXT. I mean, all the classic content. They just added this week on Monday, they added the old WWF Superstar starting in April of 1992. I mean, you can't get any better than that. Or 1993, I think it was. Because there was a copyright issue with the name. So, WWE has so much more to be offering on the network that is a reason for you to sign up for the network, not just NXT. If they want to move NXT to FS1, it's a great move. It's a great move. It has potential to be its own brand instead of being looked at as a minor league or WWE's developmental. I hate that. I hate hearing, oh, that's WWE's minor league, isn't it? There's nothing minor league about NXT. They're producing better content than Monday and Tuesday night. They got better roster than Monday and Tuesday night. There's nothing minor league about it. They got better storylines. Everything revolving around NXT, WWE should incorporate on Monday and Tuesday night. I've said this for years. NXT on FS1, more eyes on the product. It deserves to have more eyes on the product. And I think NXT's worked, or Triple H has worked so hard to get NXT to where it is right now, where it's been absolutely on fire. They've been the best they've ever been. Why not take that leap and put them on FS1 to get them in front of a bigger audience? I think they deserve it. I think they deserve it. And with what I'm about to read to you, there might not be people moving from NXT to SmackDown or NXT to Raw. Some people might stay in NXT if need be, and they might only perform in NXT. WWE, could do away with the hierarchy of, being promoted to the main roster. Triple H doesn't like that. He had an interview done in the UK with the opening of the UK Performance Center. The hierarchy of WWE he wants to do away with. He doesn't like, when people say, when is, Velveteen Dream going to be promoted to the main roster? Because it diminishes NXT, promoted. He wants NXT to be so much more. And I think Triple H has gotten NXT to a point right now where it deserves so much more. It deserves more eyes. It deserves more attention. It deserves more praise. So moving to FS1 is a great idea if they want to go do that. Now, Triple H was asked about the possibility of moving NXT to FS1. He says, and I quote, this shouldn't be a big surprise to anybody. He's always open for more exposure on the product. That's all he said about that. Fox losing UFC opened up some holes in their programming on FS1 and FS2 as well. You never know if a deal could eventually be struck to bring NXT television outside their usual WWE network home, but it was raised. It was a question raised in the NXT Phoenix TakeOver conference call today in the afternoon. Triple H actually also mentioned the Velveteen Dream's weird social media behavior. We seen Dream tonight on NXT TV, but Dream has been lobbying for a main roster call-up. He made a big deal about not being one of the ones chosen for a main roster call-up with Lars Sullivan and Lacey Evans, Heavy Machinery, Nikki Cross, and EC3. He's gone on social media as of late and says that he will not be giving his talent to those who don't find him to be worth it. He's taking a stance. I don't know what this is, but I honestly think it's a big ruse. It's a big storyline taking place. I don't think Velveteen Dream is going into business for himself. I honestly think that this is leading to something possibly on Sunday with him being in the Royal Rumble. Now, Triple H comments on the Velveteen Dream's weird behavior. Velveteen Dream is, we all know, one of NXT's brightest stars. Everybody from John Cena to Kurt Angle, Triple H, Shawn Michaels have nothing but high praise for the Velveteen Dream. But according to recent tweets, he doesn't want to be used anymore. I guess he feels like he deserves better, is the vibe I'm getting. Now, Triple H recently spoke in the conference call today about the Velveteen Dream's recent Twitter activity. Dream is a young man with an incredible upside, and Triple H obviously realizes this. And he said, and I quote, "I have not spoken to him about his social media behavior. He is a remarkable young man that is wonderfully gifted on all levels." That's all he said. Now, obviously, whatever the superstars are doing on social media, A, have to be approved, B, are monitored daily. So for Triple H to come out and outwardly say, "I have not spoken to him about it," they've spoken to him about it. In fact, this was something that they green-lighted just to bring awareness to the Velveteen Dream. Why would they do that? Well, he's not on TakeOver. I'm looking at a TakeOver card right now without the Velveteen Dream being included. With how great he's been in 2018 and for all the awards that he's been up for, how are you not going to include the Velveteen Dream on an NXT TakeOver card? Now, what that could possibly mean is that, well, he's not on TakeOver. He could certainly make a debut in the Royal Rumble. And I think everybody in Phoenix would go crazy if the Velveteen Dream's music hits the PA system and he comes walking down the aisle to be included in the Royal Rumble. I think that would be great, as long as he's not called up to the main roster soon after that. It's okay with being in the Royal Rumble. Adam Cole was in the Royal Rumble last year, right? He was there. He lasted about 12 minutes or so, and it was fine. He went right back down to NXT, and he won the North American Championship. Velveteen Dream could do the same thing. In fact, Velveteen Dream tonight, you could say, is drawing huge similarities to Adam Cole last year. Adam Cole was in the Royal Rumble, went on to win the North American Championship. Velveteen Dream wants to be on the main roster. He's not on TakeOver. I could certainly see him being in the Royal Rumble. And he dropped a hint or a tease tonight on NXT TV that he wants the North American Championship. So we know Dream is not going anywhere. Otherwise, that wouldn't have been said on TV tonight. So I can see him in the Royal Rumble, and I can see him going for the North American Championship. Whatever is being said on social media is being green-lighted by management. So don't get it mixed up. Dream is not going into business for himself. He's not getting released. They are not sitting in Florida, in Orlando, not wanting to use the Velveteen Dream. He's not really doing much, if anything, right now. They got to keep his name out there. They got to keep the buzz going. So that's why they have him doing that. And I am predicting that the Velveteen Dream will be in the Royal Rumble on Sunday night. And I'm going to mark out when his music hits. And I hope he has a good showing. Triple H wants to do away with brand hierarchy in WWE. Triple H was actually interviewed during the grand opening of the NXT UK Performance Center in London. This was during a London press conference. This interview was conducted by Inside the Ropes. You can find the interview on YouTube if you guys want to go put that in the search bar. Triple H revealed a unique insight into how he views WWE's perceived hierarchy and what that could mean for NXT talent. There are some talent here, he says, and I quote, there are some talent here that you might not see come from the UK that might move straight to Raw or SmackDown, Triple H said. I think right now, there's sort of this perceived system of where it's kind of Raw number 1, SmackDown number 2, NXT number 3, and NXT UK number 4. I don't believe that, he says. And that's a great way to look at it. Because when you rank them like that, this is the feeling I'm getting. When you rank them like that, it goes from important to least important. And Triple H doesn't want to give off that vibe that, NXT UK is 4th priority on the list. It's not that important. It's not as important as Raw and SmackDown. Of course it's important. Of course it's important. This is something that he is putting so much of his own time and effort and resources into to build up, to make it a big deal, to make it appealing so that people from the outside want to come on in. They want to compete for the WWE. Look at Walter. Look at Walter. Would Walter be in the WWE right now if there wasn't an NXT UK? No. The guy outwardly said, blatantly said, I don't want to work in North America. I want to stay close to home. I don't want to be on Raw and SmackDown. I want to stay where I am. I want to stay where I am and do what I do. And the fact that WWE has NXT UK here and the fact that I could stay close to home and do what I want to do and not really go full-time on the road and do all the things that the main roster requires me to do. Walter's in the WWE. And now he's set up to fight Pete Dunne at the next TakeOver show and possibly take Pete Dunne's UK Championship. So, of course, NXT UK and NXT are just as big as a priority to WWE and Triple H as Raw and SmackDown. The hierarchy, he feels, is kind of disrespectful to the other brands when you look at the grand scheme of things. He continues to say, and I quote, I believe that talent are talent, and I believe they will sit where they sit. I believe you'll see talent over the next few years start coming up to Raw and SmackDown, and I think you'll see them move back over into NXT or back into the NXT UK system. I think talent will begin to evolve and rotate through territories, so to speak. I hope WWE institutes that. I hope that we see a revival who were demoted, promoted to Raw and SmackDown, who don't really have much to do on the main roster, or if they're not being used right, go back down to NXT and we see someone else come up and take their place, a revolving door of talent. I hope that's the case. Like we've seen with Tyler Breeze. He had that great match with Ricochet towards the end of 2018. We've seen Luke Harper and the Revival do NXT house shows. I'd love to see that on an NXT TV taping. I'd love to see guys like that. Maybe the Ascension come on in. Who are still, by the way, the longest reigning NXT Tag Team Champions of all time at 364 days. I'd like to see that. Triple H thinks that there will be some talent that will be incredibly successful, will be global names, will be global household names that will probably never leave the NXT system because that's their home base and that's where they fit best. And they'll have incredibly successful, meaningful careers. And probably over those careers, they'll gravitate through different locations within the globe, maybe without never being on Raw and SmackDown, but that not being any lesser to their careers. That is his ultimate goal. That is his ultimate goal. To continue to build these signings, this talent, up to a global platform, to get them to be a global household name so that they're big enough to lend all of that to make the brand even bigger. I think it's great. It's a beautiful vision to have. It really is a beautiful vision to have. And Triple H is doing everything right with the Performance Center and the NXT brands. Everything is just beautiful. I love his vision. I love his way of thinking. And I can't wait to see what happens. Now, I don't know who those names could be. Maybe some more of the lesser known names. You know, Ricochet, Adam Cole, or Velveteen Dream, Aleister Black, guys like that, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, we all know, destined for superstardom on the main roster. Pete Dunne. You know, Pete Dunne right now is in NXT UK. He's young enough, 24, 25 years old, to where we should not even be talking about Pete Dunne on Raw and SmackDown. Could he fit on Raw and SmackDown? Yes. Could he be a huge star on Raw and SmackDown? Yes. Is it his time? No. He finds his time to be more valuable because he believes in the brand so much that he wants to be there and he doesn't want to be anywhere else right now. He don't even want to be thinking about being anywhere else. And neither does Triple H. But Pete Dunne, you think he's going to be on NXT UK forever? No, not at all. Walter, you think Walter's going to stay on NXT UK for the duration? He's open to doing North American shows. We've seen it done before. Who's to say he doesn't do a regular NXT takeover? A big money match. Build his name up and his brand up so much that when he comes over, he's going to be an even bigger deal. And lend that star power to the NXT brand here in North America. That's what Triple H wants to do. I love it. I think it's a great idea. Brand hierarchy, he doesn't want to have really, out there in the open. This is the way it goes. Everything is of equal value to Triple H. That's what he wants to take all the brands. That's what he wants the brands to achieve over the coming years in WWE. This is a signing that I am incredibly excited about, and this was a long time coming. His father passed away, and his father knew that his son wanted nothing more than to have a run in the WWE. And Trevor Lee is getting that opportunity now as he announces he is signing with the WWE. Former Impact Wrestling superstar Trevor Lee is WWE bound. He is among the list of WWE superstars that WWE is welcoming into their February 2019 class. It has been well documented that Lee would be heading to the WWE for the past few months. In fact, he recently revealed this himself during a live Twitch broadcast of CWF Mid-Atlantic. Now that the news is out there, Lee took to his Facebook account to comment on this matter further, and this is what he said, and I quote, "It still doesn't feel real. I've wanted this my whole life, and I wish my father was here to see it, but at least I was able to tell him before his passing that WWE was interested in me. At 25 years old and 11 years in this wonderful business, I can say that I finally accomplished my dream." End quote. Such a beautiful thing to see, man. Really. It's a great thing to see. Now, the post is also interesting in the way as Lee mentions that he was able to tell his father that WWE was interested in signing him before he had passed away. Lee's father, Tracy Cadell, a respected father and co-founder of ECWF, now known as Omega, alongside Matt Hardy, had sadly passed away in late July last year. So this was Matt Hardy's promotion, the Hardy Boys promotion. He was a co-founder with Matt and Jeff of Omega. This would mean that WWE and Lee would have had some form of contact in at least the last year, dating back to July 2018. They weren't able to sign him due to his contract with Impact Wrestling, but it was clear that a connection had been made, and it is likely that that connection was made before July, even though we have yet to see anything more definitive. Now, Trevor Lee is on his way into NXT. He's going to be at the Performance Center starting in February of 2019. Congratulations to him, man. I can't wait to see what he does. He got a great look, and I am excited about NXT adding even more talent. I do believe Shane Strickland and ACH could be a part of the February 2019 NXT class as well. Really exciting stuff, as always, coming out of NXT, man. Good on Trevor Lee. Very happy for him. Very interested to see what he does in NXT. Moving on here, man. Let's quickly get into the results of tonight's show. Show started off with the Velveteen Dream coming on out. Dream on the microphone says that he has a little sparkle in his eye, something special in his sights, and he waits for no man. Dream says that sparkle is championship gold. He wants the North American Championship. So like I just previously mentioned, Dream and everything that he's doing on social media was green-lighted by WWE management just to keep the buzz around the Velveteen Dream, just to keep the Dream's name in everybody's mouth. I'm predicting, it may or may not happen, but I'm predicting that the Dream will make a cameo in the Royal Rumble. Adam Cole comes out with Bobby Fish from the stage. Cole says Dream needs to pump his brakes. 2019 is going to be the year for Undisputed Era, and he, along with Fish, will have gold around their waist. Cole says Dream can continue to dream on. Fish then gets on the microphone, and the crowd immediately starts a "Shut Up Bobby" chant. He basically echoes what Cole said. Dream challenges Fish, but says if it's okay with Adam only. Fish didn't appreciate that and charges in the ring. He gets tossed out of the ring quickly. Cole runs in. He gets tossed out, and Dream slithers out of the ring very seductively, and he taunts them from the stage. Good to see Dream back on NXT TV. We had a great vignette for Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair, obviously citing that Bianca is undefeated. Shayna is saying the other women can't stand that she has the title because there's nothing that they can do about it. I'm looking forward to this match, man. We're going to go over the NXT TakeOver preview and predictions on Friday's show, so make sure you guys keep an eye out for Off the Script on Friday. Cassius Ohno hits a low blow on Keith Lee last week, gets a cheap victory over Keith Lee. Matt Riddle comes out. That match is now set for TakeOver Phoenix. The two will meet on Saturday. That probably will open the entire show at what was it, the Talking Stick Arena? Yeah, the Talking Stick Arena is where TakeOver Phoenix is going to be held. Man, I love Fabian Aichner. I honestly think Fabian Aichner is a fucking beast. The guy is absolutely fucking phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal. And I love the team of he and Marcel Bartel. I think they're great. In fact, I'm coining them the NXT version of the Bar. Because when I look at Fabian Aichner, I see a vast similarity to Cesaro. Now, obviously, Bartel doesn't look anything like Sheamus, but I get that vibe when I watch them. They are the NXT version of the Bar on SmackDown Live. They go 2-on-2 against Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. Tag team wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. This was the best thing on the show tonight. Man, did these guys have little time, but they exploded and tore the house down, man. This was a great fucking match. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch win via pinfall. This was a fantastic match for the time that they were given. Bartel hits an air raid crash on Burch. Lorcan and Aichner are in the ring. Lorcan gets turned inside out by a huge Fabian Aichner lariat. Bartel back in the ring, assisted brainbuster by Aichner on Lorcan. Aichner then hits a nice leap from one rope to the other. Guy springboards from one rope to the other and does a moonsault perfectly. And I'm sitting there like, how is this guy not got all the eyes on him, man? Aichner needs to be a staple on NXT. Bartel comes in with a big flying forearm on Lorcan, but he kind of rolls through, locks in a single leg Boston Crab on Aichner. Burch back in the ring, clears out Bartel. Aichner sends Burch out as well. Lorcan with some big chops to Aichner, devastating. If there's one thing I do not want to have happen to me, it is taking a chop from Oney Lorcan. The guy looks like he just doesn't give a fuck when he's throwing him, and it looks like it hurts fucking big time. Running European uppercut on Eichner by Lorcan, and then leaps to the outside. And at this point, shit is breaking down, man. Shit is really breaking down at this point. We get Lorcan with the European uppercut, and then he leaps to the outside, takes out Birch and Bartel. Eichner with a step up, flying crossbody. He flies up to the top rope in one fluid motion and springboards off the rope onto everybody on the outside. Leaps on to everybody, clearing out all three guys. Eichner tries for a springboard in the ring. Lorcan sidesteps it, avoids it, rolls him up, and Bartel could not get into the ring to break up the count. Lorcan pins Eichner. Birch holds Bartel back, and we got a nice 1-2 combination of Oney Lorcan and Danny Birch win via pinfall, man. Very, very good match. Easily the best match on the entire show tonight. Io Shirai and Kairi Sane versus Tanea Brooks and Amber Nova. I'm a big fan of Amber Nova, man. This was not one of her better showings. This was awful, by the way. Not just her, but just an awful showing in general for the team that she was on. Amber Nova is, she's got a great look. I'm following her on Twitter. She is big time into retro cars. She's also a model. And I honestly think that WWE should really give her an opportunity on NXT, man. I think she could do big things if they give her the opportunity to. This was very academic, man. Io Shirai and Kairi Sane win via pinfall here. Shirai with a springboard double drop kick. Sane tags in. Shirai drops Brooks. Sane with a pop-up elbow drop. And then Shirai with the assisted moonsault. Sane gets the pin and the win. So we got the team of Sea and Sky here. And it's not by coincidence that they paired these two up. With the announcement of the Women's Tag Team Championships, I could easily see this being a staple for NXT, for these two to challenge whomever the champions are sometime in the future, man. And I'm sitting at home and I'm watching this team, and I don't really know where the women's division is going right now after Baszler and Bianca Belair. I do not see Bianca winning the championship, but I do think she will remain undefeated. I can honestly see if Bayley and Sasha Banks win the tag team titles, man, imagine that. Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Io and Kairi for the tag team titles. Take my fucking money, man. That would be phenomenal. And have it happen at a takeover. How about that? Can we do it? I'd love for somebody in WWE to listen to the words I'm saying right now. Can we do it? Maybe. Maybe for Brooklyn. Holding out hope. Io Shirai and Kairi Sane win. Sane and Shirai are outside saying that they are going to take care of business. They're being interviewed saying that they're going to take care of business together and nobody can stop them. Marina Shafir and Jessamine Duke roll through the parking lot of the PC, tell them that they will be sending the duo out to sea soon enough. Decent promo by the Horsewomen, and it was good enough to set up a match for next week. So we have at the TakeOver event, they're going to be filming before the TakeOver event. It's going to be the Horsewomen. It's going to be Duke and Shafir versus Kairi and Io. So there you go. The Horsewomen are getting their first taste of a TakeOver crowd. Should be very interesting. Velveteen Dream and Bobby Fish with Adam Cole. This was a good match, man. Velveteen Dream is so good, man. You notice the little things more and more when you watch him. The selling, the facial expressions, the way he just presents a believable feel to his matches. I'm loving everything the Dream is doing, man. I'm loving everything the Dream is doing. Bobby Fish tried to take out Dream's leg here. Dream with a great sell job on the knee, and that knee was the opening that Bobby Fish needed in this match, and everything that the Dream did, man. Couldn't lift up Bobby Fish for the Dream Valley Driver. Couldn't go up to the top rope and deliver as an intense purple rainmaker as we're used to seeing. It all hindered him because of the knee, and he sold it incredibly well. Back in the ring, towards the end of the match here, clubbing blow to Fish's back. Adam Cole was screaming on the outside, "That's for you, baby!" So I laughed at that. I love Adam Cole. Dream says to Cole, I'm sorry. Dream said that to Cole, not Cole to Velveteen Dream. I had my notes mixed up here. Cole with a distraction on the outside. Fish with a dragon screw leg whip into the barricade. Again, working on the knee. So Fish focuses on Dream's leg now with kicks from behind. Fish continues to work on Dream's knee. Dream uses his other leg to kick Fish away. Knee strikes to the face. Dream to the second rope. Drop kick hits. Cover 2 count only. Dream with a spine buster heads to the top rope. Rainmaker doesn't quite connect because of that knee. Fish counters into a knee bar. Dream crawls towards the bottom rope, but Cole pulls the bottom rope away from Dream. The referee finally sees him and starts yelling at Cole. Dream from behind, as the referee is distracted by Adam Cole, rolls up Fish, tries for the Dream Valley driver. No! He sends Fish into Cole on the outside. Fish comes back into the ring. Then he hits the Dream Valley driver. Up to the top for the Purple Rainmaker. Still wasn't as good as we're used to seeing because of the knee. And he hits the elbow drop for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Velveteen Dream wins via pinfall over Bobby Fish. Street Profits versus the Forgotten Sons are also announced before TakeOver. So that will be on next week's show as well. So the Forgotten Sons and the Street Profits are getting a taste of the TakeOver crowd. So we got 2 tag team matches next week, folks. Get ready. Get ready for a lot of nothing. The Forgotten Sons, I wish that they would stay forgotten. Moving on here, man. We ended the show with Ricochet in the ring. Grabs the microphone to address Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano, everybody says. I say Gargano. Johnny Gargano. He noted how Gargano says that he was better than Ricochet, but then not 5 minutes later, he super kicked Ricochet. Says 2019, Gargano was the same as 2018 as he showed his true colors. Ricochet said he did the same as champion. Gargano then comes out and starts calling Ricochet Rick. Rick. You know, I know what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to get my emotions all riled up. Gargano gets in the ring and says that this year, Gargano has a plan. I have a plan. And he looks for a cheap shot, but Ricochet fights him off. So he got in the ring, says he has a plan. He went for a cheap shot, and they start brawling in the middle of the ring. And then out of nowhere, Tommaso Ciampa comes from behind and attacks Ricochet, helping Johnny in the process. Gargano looks up at Ciampa for the moment to see that he has help from somewhere that he didn't expect help. So they continue to swing away on Ricochet. Ciampa smiles and starts clapping at Johnny, right? And then Aleister Black comes out and he attacks Ciampa. So we got the 2 double main events for TakeOver right now just happening in the ring to close this show tonight. Gargano sees what Black is doing, so he goes over to Black, pulls him off of Ciampa, and super kicks his head off. So Gargano super kicks Black. Crowd chanting DIY. Ciampa recovers and attacks Black once again. Gargano resumes beating up Ricochet. He delivers a slingshot DDT on Ricochet, and then we get Ciampa grabbing Aleister Black and plants him right down to the mat. And the 2 make their way up the ramp. Johnny looking at Ciampa looking at Johnny. They're very, very cautious of one another. They get to the top of the ramp, and Ciampa goes for a handshake. And Johnny looked like he was going to do it, and Candice comes out at the perfect moment to pull Johnny away and says, "Do you really want to do this? This is not what I expect out of you. Do you really want to do this with this guy?" And she pushes him through the curtain as Ciampa is just standing there smiling with his hand out still as the NXT TV logo comes on the screen and we fade to black. I thought that was great. I thought that was a great lasting image of Ciampa on my TV screen, man, because he knows what he's doing. You know, Aleister Black calls him the puppet master. That's exactly what he's doing. They coined that phrase for a reason. Ciampa's going to beat Black. It's going to be a fantastic fucking match. I'm going to predict it's a 5-star match on Saturday. But the puppet master will reign supreme, and the puppet master is going to continue dangling those strings. And the puppet master is going to try and get into Johnny's head. Johnny thinks that this is what needs to happen. And I think Johnny's going to beat Ricochet for the NXT North American Championship. And I honestly think we're going to get Johnny and Ricochet as dual champions for the time being until Johnny snaps out of it. Maybe something happens along the line where Gargano loses the championship back to Ricochet, or maybe he loses it to Dream before WrestleMania. Or because of Ciampa, and Johnny snaps out of it, and we get a head-on collision again for the final time with Ciampa and Gargano at WrestleMania. And then Johnny wins the championship. He becomes Johnny Wrestling again. We get Johnny back to being a good guy. And Ciampa, all that work, all those days as champion finally come to an end. His reign of terror, which I love, by the way. It's not really a reign of terror. I loved every fucking moment of Ciampa's title reign. But his reign of terror will finally come to an end with Johnny winning the championship at WrestleMania. That's the way I see it going, heading towards TakeOver Brooklyn number 5 WrestleMania weekend, man. Very good show tonight. Lots of news coming out of NXT with the new signings, the new class in February, the Abyss news now joining WWE, probably NXT. Lots of news going on, man. We got a lot of news this weekend as well with the Royal Rumble preview and predictions. Got the podcast all ready. All my news and notes are ready. It's going to be a big show, so don't miss it on Friday, man. I'm getting out of here. I got a nice glass of wine ready and chilled in the refrigerator. Gonna sip that, relax for the rest of the night, maybe play some Black Ops 4. Don't know what I'm doing yet, but hope to see you guys on Friday for Off the Script. Royal Rumble weekend is here, man, so make sure you guys keep an eye and an ear out for the podcast this weekend. If you missed Raw and SmackDown review, those are live on the channel right now. I even got some Doom 2016 gameplay live on the channel, man. Gonna try and finish that, and then Resident Evil this week as well, so look forward to that content coming very soon on the channel as well, man. I'm getting out of here. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. Please hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes on this video, and I'll see you on Friday for Off the Script episode 258, Royal Rumble preview and predictions. I'll see you guys then. Have a good night. I'll talk to you all later.